You probably did not know these Doki Literature Club facts, like Monika's character design was intentionally different from the other girls. I think really anybody who played the game would know why. I'm not going to spoil the game in case you guys haven't finished. Fact number 2 about Monika is Monika is the only Doki with an American name, which I guess kind of goes with the Monika being different part. And another fact that is different about Monika and all the other girls is that her name is the only one that does not end with an I, as you can tell. You got Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri all end with an I. And I always notice this and I always kind of question why, but Monika stares directly at the screen while all the other girls face sideways. They just kind of stare off into the background, kind of, who knows what they're looking at, but Monika is just staring into your soul. Okay, now speaking of Act 3, here we got another fun fact about Act 3. Monika does not reference the player's gender. And like in this Reddit post said, it could mean that she's bi or just doesn't care. I mean, of course they had to do it this way because if they didn't, then it would only appeal to one certain demographic of gender. Here's a real interesting one right here. When you hear the piano soundtrack, and it's Monika practicing piano. Spoiler warning, guys, so click off if you haven't finished the game, but for example, like the Sayori's death scene, you probably heard the very loud piano sound. Because it adds a lot to the lore. It makes sense because it mentions a lot in the game that Monika is practicing the piano, so it makes a lot of sense. And you can find multiple TXT files in the DDLC files written by Monika. I did not know this. I did not ever look at the files. Please let me know what they say if you do know what they say, but okay, so the first 2 facts were like kind of obvious ones, so I skipped those ones just to keep the video more interesting. But Sayori is not a real name. It says right here, and Dan Salvato just mixed up 2 different names and made them into kind of a similar name to get the name Sayori. Natsuki's dad gives her a strict curfew. They reference this a few times in the game, like when Natsuki says that she can't be out with the MC when they're working on the project together. And that's kind of a reference. Reference it a few times in other parts of the game, like in Act 2, but they're pretty small references. If you played other DDLC mods, Dan Salvato has wished that he could go in more depth with Natsuki's character. I did not know about that. But yeah, I really want to know more about Natsuki in the game. I feel like they kind of skipped over a lot of stuff. It'll be really cool if we got a whole bunch of lore on this character because, they reference a bunch of stuff and you're like, is that really true? Of course, you can play mods and, you can see what fans come up with, but there's no real official thing saying and confirming this stuff, so it's just kind of like guessing, I guess. Some people believe that Natsuki is self-aware. Now, I guess this is just some random thing because it even says right here in this Reddit post, I personally love this theory, but it's possibly not true. So, I don't know, guys, it's just what you think. If you think this is true, then, yeah, I think it's true. Yeah, I haven't really paid all that much attention to that, so I don't really know if it's true or not. This game right here is a reference to Natsuki. I've never played this game. I've never heard of it. Dude, this one was real interesting right here. We're on Yuri, by the way. I know I skipped over a lot of them because they were kind of confusing and I didn't really get them, so I didn't want to include them in a video. But here's a rumor about a sequel to DDLC, and the main character is Yuri. No, I actually have heard of this from the game theory video. I know they're talking about Yuri in a possible new game, but yeah, I don't know if that's true. There's no confirmed things about it. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to check out my other videos because I upload DDLC content 3 times a week. So yeah, please check out my other videos. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end.